Hello, everyone. Let me start the music and Hi. I still don't know where to look. Okay, so we're talking about tracing versus drawing. A lot of people have like blocks against tracing because they think it's gonna forever prohibit them from being able to draw. Okay, you guys. If you want to draw, you learn drawing. And the site I recommend is proco.com. I'm sure there's other ways to draw. There's books. There's free books, actually, in the library. It's, I almost said open source, but it's public domain, actually. There's drawing books that are in the public domain. I wish I was more organized. I would have links. But I'm not. Just do Google search. And a lot of the famous people who taught drawing, their books are now in the public domain, just so you know. So anyway, but the difference between tracing and drawing, like people get hung up on this. And when you're learning painting, you're not really learning drawing yet. And besides that, they're two different skills to learn. They're related, but they're two different skills. What I teach, I want to teach you how to control the paint on the paper in watercolor. Okay, I'm not teaching drawing. So to fast speed this ahead, we trace, because I teach realistic, very accurate style. I mean, I want to say hyper realistic, but there's some seriously awesome hyper realistic artists that, you know, obviously what we're doing is beginner stuff. So it's not going to be hyper realistic. So I just want to call it realistic for now. Like more than just realistic looking. I know there's just so many shades of gray. I just want to describe to you that what we're going for is very accurate as possible. We're not trying to copy the photograph exactly. We're trying to use our brain to produce a realistic effect. It's not photorealistic. It's hyper realistic. There's a slight difference, but there is a difference. And I wanted to show you what I was doing today. So I have Affinity Photo, but you can do this on free software also, like GIMP is a free software, and I'm sure there's a couple more that you can do that's free. So I want to show you. Look at that. Yeah. So I have my rose over here that I want to work on. And then I learned in Affinity Photo how to turn it into a photo sketch. And then with using curves, I tried my best to highlight like the edges so it's easier to trace, right? And then, so what I wanted to show you, so I printed that out, right? So I'll show you what I first started with. So I first started with I printed the photo. I have a laser printer, so you know, it's not that good as far as really accurate photographs. But my goal is to use my phone anyway, as a reference photo thing. I'm pretty sure I downloaded the photograph, but now I don't remember. Oh, I did. Yes, I did. Right? So basically, I'll have my phone, you know, and I'll just zoom in, zoom out, you know. It's a really great, for me, a great way to get in there and really look at the details and then get as close as possible to the details. And then step back and then do my own thing, right? But as accurate as possible is what you're going for. And then you have room to adjust it for yourself. And then it's your style. So this photograph is actually available on Unsplash. I will link it so that you have it. And then, okay, so what I was saying was, so I printed it like this and I couldn't see it. It was really hard to see. Like, I'll turn this off. You know, it was very difficult to see. I'll also link this in the description. It's the it's just like I found it for $14 on Amazon, right? So I'll link that, but you do your own shopping. Like I don't know the detail. I just have like 4 of these because they're so inexpensive and I love them. They're lightweight. They're just USB powered light box. It's not a box. It's a see? Oh, you can't even see me? It's very lightweight. So what's gonna happen? Okay, so I printed it on my Leza printer, and it prints black and white because I don't have color printer. But that wasn't working out, so I learned on Affinity Photo how to do this version, and now I just, you know, I'll turn off more lights. I'll do the tracing tonight when it's dark, and trace this out so that it's ready for painting. I might trace a couple, just I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going through the process. So that's what I wanted to show you. I was proud of this today. I thought that was really cool. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about tracing versus drawing. I believe that for beginners, don't worry about being able to draw yet. If you're wanting to do the style of painting that I want to teach, which is hyper realistic or realistic, really, watercolor, don't worry about being able to draw yet. Because what you need for that final painting to convey that realism is accuracy. That's what you have to learn, is very accurate as far as the colors and the tones. That's what you're learning. You're learning how to manipulate watercolor, working with the supplies that you have to transform something realistic. So I'm not worried about drawing right now. What I'm worried about is accuracy, a good pencil sketch, and you learning how to layer colors to build up to a realistic looking image. That's my goal. Once you learn that, you can have a separate drawing sketchbook. Here's the other thing too. Don't try to sketch on your watercolor paper. You want to transfer your drawing onto the watercolor paper so that you're not, you know, tracing and drawing and stuff on your watercolor paper and erasing, and that damages the fibers on the watercolor paper. Watercolor paper is specifically for painting, not drawing on it. I mean, not like, you know, building up your drawing. That's what a drawing sketchbook is for. Once you're done with your drawing, then you transfer that image onto the watercolor paper. For the painting part of it, 2 separate things. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. So tracing is very beneficial for a beginner. Well, obviously, if you're not, you know, if you don't want to paint your drawings yet, you don't have to. You can trace reference photos and learn the painting part of it. You know, you can build the 2 separate things separately. Yeah, and I said drawing is a separate skill from painting because it is a separate skill. There is, obviously, you can paint and sketch at the same time, but your results won't necessarily be the hyper-realistic style because most likely, well, I don't know. You do you. This is my path. You do whatever you want. I'm just saying don't block yourself from some belief that you can't do certain things. You do whatever. You can do whatever. So let's see. Oh, the other thing I wanted to point out too. Some people think that if you're doing the grid style, or if you're doing the where you hold up a pen or pencil and you're measuring the subject and then you're transferring it onto your canvas, that's somehow drawing. And it's you're still copying. You're still measuring and copying. That's the same thing. Drawing is different. For me, this is my opinion, you guys. Okay, I'm not saying that this is the definition. I'm just saying this is how I see it. Drawing to me is drawing from scratch. And you can have reference photos, you know, you can have reference there, but you're not like directly copying necessarily. You're drawing each item and 3Ding it or whatever, you know, and then that's to me is drawing. And actually, I want to do a shout out for a friend of mine that is freaking awesome as far as drawing goes. Unfortunately, he streams late night, so it's kind of hard to catch him. But for people that are outside of United States, since it's probably daytime there when he streams, what's his name? Lister. Charles Lister. Oh my god. He's amazing. He's an amazing pencil artist. He has an Instagram, so go look at his Instagram and you'll just be blown away by his characters that he draws. And he'll, like, in one sitting kind of thing. And it's fun to watch, and he's very good at what he does. And it's a fun group. And I used to hang out there all the time, but it's just so late at night that it just messes up my circadian system. I think that's what it's called, circadian sleep cycle. But yeah, he's an amazing artist that I always recommend him to everybody. Yeah, I think that's it. Any form of copy isn't drawing. Yeah, any kind of copying something. But you guys, it's part of learning. It's part of learning. Copying is part of your learning process. The more you copy, the more your brain kind of understands what's going on with the subject, and it'll be easier for you to draw. So there's no wrong way. Just do it. Stop stopping yourself. Because I think that's what you're actually doing, is just preventing yourself from doing things. So I wanted to do a video today, and that's my video. And I hope that was okay. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.